Hey guys, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. I'm here with Benjamin Zulu, and we're talking about things husbands should do to enjoy their marriage. And there's a very interesting SMS that's here. Before I read that one, someone here says, and yeah, Benjamin deserves that slow motion reveal. He looks super fire. I can't wait to listen to him today, and you're enjoying the show. That's Anne from I think Western or Westlands. Thank you very much for that. But someone here is saying, hey Joyce, I thought the discussion is on what men need to do to enjoy their marriage. What I'm hearing is what men must do to make the wife happy. Seems Zulu is misguided.
That must be a guy, right?
I guess so.
That must be a guy.
I know there are people agreeing with him.
Marriage means wife. Who are you married to? The marriage is the two of you.
Yeah.
And when we say what you do in the relationship, that's what to bring the happiness in the marriage. Did you expect me to tell you to buy a better car so that you can enjoy your marriage? We are saying to enjoy your marriage is what you do in the relationship. Remember, we said women have a good woman as a natural inclination to invest in the relationship. That's what is happening when you look around. Is the woman who is doing more, making the calls, but we are asking.
Which by default then means that also for a wife to enjoy her marriage, she needs to be doing the things that will.
To the husband.
Yes. So it's a two-way street. We're trying to meet in the middle.
Exactly.
What we're saying is, so far, women are going like 3/4 of the distance, and men will go with a quarter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are saying when you talk about wife, there's no difference between marriage and wife. That's the person you're married to. Mm-hmm. It's the relationship we call marriage. It's the person we are calling wife. So if you're differentiating about semantics, maybe you can go back to English class a little bit. But I simply mean to this person who wrote, thank you for watching, but you're saying what you do for your marriage, you're doing to your wife. We have children coming on the way later. If your family will be big and all that, the children will not be part of the marriage. They'll be part of the family. That's your family now. Marriage remains this woman.
Right.
Children grow and go.
Okay. So for every man who's already feeling a little sour or lemon-faced, you need to understand your marriage is your spouse.
And you cannot feel happy about your marriage if your wife is not happy. We said she reflects what you send out.
True. Someone here is saying, hey Joyce, I'm Christabel, and my man has a habit of getting mad at every small thing. What can I do to save the situation? And maybe we can address this now from the man's perspective. Maybe there are things that just kind of irritate him, as far as, how things are done in the home, or, our wife's insecurities and things. What can he be doing to sort of assure her and not just get mad at every small thing?
I want to tell men that if you have anything that gets you out of control, like temper, you might never get to your land of Canaan. Even if the people who are getting on your nerves, the Israelites, annoyed Moses, the annoyance was legitimate. It was real. But the punishment still fell on the leader.
Yeah.
Because you got out of control and you did what you did not get to. So I want to ask men, whatever gets on your nerves, because I know there are women who are experts at getting on your nerves.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Because they think you're not listening. So you're not listening to me. It means you're thinking, what are you thinking about? So they know how to blow dust out of nothing. If you have that kind of woman who address that, and why do you poke me like? Because I have had cases, Joyce, where women just do. They even poke you literally. Can't you hear? Can't you hear? Can't you hear? Can't you hear? Don't hold her by the neck. Don't try to choke her. Don't say I'll kill you. Don't lose temper and say those things, because they'll be taken out. They'll be taken out of context and be told you are the one who is losing temper. So I want to ask men: if you have a woman who has a habit of provoking you, address that as an issue on its own.
Yeah.
Don't lose control. And I said, any man who has a bad temper, who is addicted to anything, he's possessed by that thing. He's not in control of his life. In wrestling, before they fight, they try to provoke each other. Because they know when you're angry, you can't strategize. You can't fight strategically. They'll beat you easily. Life is like that. Life is like wrestling. We have so much problems to face. If you have a habit of losing temper, you're not in control of your life. The emotion, the temperament I prescribe for men, for us to aspire, is to handle every situation with grace. Let her get worked up. You're listening graciously. You're taking in what she's saying. She knows you're hearing. And later on, without you having to do a lot, she relaxes when she feels hard. So I want you to hear her until she feels hard. Sometimes, and you mentioned TV, you can tell, I'm listening, talk, I'm listening. That's not listening. We hear with the ears, but we listen with the eyes. Where we are looking, that's where our attention is. So you need to, the reason sometimes we avoid listening is because the emotion is tense. Men avoid conflict.
Right.
When there's a difference, they try to slow fade or gloss over the issue or avoid it, and women want to face it squarely because, as you said, women are born with more machinery for emotional processing. They are more emotionally receptive. Men need to learn it. Men are naturally more logic, goals, job, career. It's that side. The other side is a left hand, which they must develop to lead the family well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's also talk about things husbands should be doing to enjoy their marriage, as far as being monogamous and just not stepping out of your relationship.
Let me talk about that.
Let me first ask a question that has been sent here. Let me read it out for us. Someone here says, this is the lady writing, but I want us to address it from the man's perspective. Hey Joyce, I'm about to get married as a second wife. My fiance and I have a baby boy together, but we are facing a lot of problems from the first wife. No kidding. That I'm beginning to have second thoughts. Should I go ahead or just leave him?
You should have second up to 20th thoughts. Listen.
Oh man.
Listen.
Okay.
Polygamy is recorded in the Bible in the Old Testament, but it's not recommended. It's recorded but not recommended. And in every place where it's recorded, there was strife.
Right.
And conflict.
Yeah.
So I want to tell men and women, especially us men, if you want peace, avoid two women fighting in your territory. There are men who have had, we have had a musician like John DiMaggio the late. There are men who have had two wives and they managed to maintain harmony, which was a delicate balance. I don't know how they struck that and how much energy they had to expend to do that. And I don't know whether the peace, we don't know whether every time the peace is real or superficial. But I want to ask men from a pragmatic, practical point of view, live with one woman. Joyce, I have another reason why I can't marry a second woman. I can hardly give enough time to the one I have. Hardly. And I want to ask men, if you marry two, which one is your queen then? Which one will say you are the queen of my life, the queen of my heart? None of them will never feel like you are their man.
Right.
So instead of focusing on making you better, they'll focus on snatching more time from you. And generally, men who are polygamous die ahead of their wives. I made a curious observation. Is it out of stress? Is it out of witchcraft? Is it, and the children sometimes, the wives can be harmonious, but the children might not be harmonious.
Yeah.
They come to strive with a lot of these rich men who die, and then the wives are showing up and children are showing up, and from there is shame and chaos. And instead of letting the man die in peace, he dies in pieces because he's being ashamed all over. I want to ask men, out of practical reasons, better one woman. And I want to, because you think the other woman is better. Do you know girlfriends look better because they are forbidden? The moment they become a wife, the same dynamics that was the same wife come back here, and you begin to go out again for the one that is hidden. The Bible says bread eaten in secret is sweet. What you're eating in secret sounds sweeter, but the moment you make it official, the sweetness goes away.
Yeah.
You thought you're getting anything, that you're not getting anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing good from that second woman. You can make, it's better to make different variations of the relationship with the same woman.
All right.
Different experiences.
Let's talk about husbands not allowing their role as a leader in the home to also justify any sort of selfish behavior.
Exactly. Just because you're a leader does not, leader means you're serving them first. You let your wife do. And I want to ask men to practice the habit of just serving their husband, their wife's food. Go to the kitchen and serve them food today.
Wow.
I told men to frequent the kitchen so they can keep supplies. Providing is practical. Oh, I can see oil is rice needs to be topped up. I serve myself food to know what is going on and top up when it needs to be topped up. I don't need to be told that this gas is running out. I keep checking and checking how far it is.
Right.
And I tell
true
them,
leadership is
yes,
servanthood.
I want to ask men, you start with being the servant, not being served. Don't sit there, oh, bring me food. After you eat, I ask men, clean after your own food. Take those plates away. What is your maid here? Just do it. For the purpose of remaining humble and modeling to your children, modeling to your son, modeling to your daughter.
Yeah. What about dishonoring your wife or criticizing her in front of the children or in public? There's some people who are experts at that.
If you say your woman, if you put your woman in bad light, you are saying the same about you. You cannot put her down and remain up because you chose her and she's your. In fact, it is how your woman glows that gives you respect as a man. And if you have that satanic habit of criticizing and putting her down in front of children in public, there's something seriously twisted within you. There's a narcissistic trait in you that needs to be treated quickly, because that woman will get tired and quit. The day she will quit, usually this is I can tell you, send this to the bank. After a breakup or divorce or anything, the one who was the abuser deteriorates, always goes down. The one who was the victim usually goes up, because they have no freedom to go up and they have the grace. Favor is on their side. This other one was, don't criticize a woman in front of the children. In fact, the one way to get respect from your children is to love their mother.
Right.
To respect their mother.
Absolutely.
When you have differences, solve them privately.
Yeah. Spiritual leadership.
When we say you're supposed to be spiritual leader, we are not saying you must be a preacher. We are saying you must have a relationship with God. That's how you protect. By the way, now that all burdens are being brought to you, all problems are being brought to you, when do you offload as a man? The place I ask men to offload is in prayer. Those men who don't kneel in prayer, they are the ones who kneel in clubs, fall in lodgings, fall in every other place. The only man who is sound, who will live long, who won't drop dead suddenly, who won't go in clubs, who won't get in the hands of wrong women and all that, is a man who has a relationship with God. Prayer is the place we vent as men. That's the place we offload. That's the place we get perspective. That's the place we can be alone. That's the place we can reorganize our lives. That's the place we can reflect. I want to ask men, do you know the longest legacy of all men? A history was done in America, and men were asked to say something, what they remember of their fathers. Do you know 85% said they did not talk about his career, the way he was a governor, or he was a this, or a CEO. They said the moment they saw him reading the Bible.
Yeah.
I want to ask men to learn reading the Bible to their children. Those verses fathers read stick with children for life.
Right. Right. Hey, okay. I think getting back to things husbands should do to enjoy their marriage, for those of you who are saying it's about the wife and making her happy, it really does count. Someone here is saying, I love today's topic because when we got married, my husband used to pamper me a lot. Nowadays, even taking me out for lunch ni shida. So I end up going with my male friends who fill that void. Okay. What can I do? Because I've tried to plead with him in vain. Okay, there's problems on both sides of this. I don't know what you mean, but you're going out with male friends to fill that void, but that's already a problem.
It's a genuine need that is being met in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Now he will accuse you of going out with those other men. I want to ask you to meet that issue, that if it's about being taken out for lunch, that we said different women value different things, but a man must find out what his woman values and do those things. We must also tell women.
Plus, you can go out to lunch with your girlfriends. It doesn't need to be with a male
friend. Doesn't have to be boyfriends.
Yeah.
Please don't provoke him to, again, that jealousy.
Usijitafutie shida.
You're adding to the problem.
Yeah.
It will complicate. Better to address the problem without making it worse.
Right. Teresia Ngathe watching from Rural Bypass. She's like, I hope my husband is watching. Thank you for that message. Someone here says, Salimia Zulu, I knew him back in high school at Gangara. Your discussion always inspires us so much. That's Morris Kinyua from Embu County. I have Millie from Oyole who says, say hi to Benjamin. I'm just learning. I'm 23, so I don't want Benjamin to say a silent prayer for me. Acha kwanza nikwe mature.
I like that.
That's Millie watching from Oyole. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you for that as well. Let's talk about men in these difficult conversations. You've touched on it for a little bit, but clearly that is a struggle for most in their relationships. Like, they're just areas they don't want to go, things they don't want to address. But you know, a tremendous percentage of marriage is communication. So what would be the resolution to this issue?
We say communication determines connection. What the current we are exchanging between us determines how strongly we are connected. If just time passes without us talking, we feel estranged, we feel distanced. So I want to ask men to learn how, for women, just that conversation matters so much. I think it matters more even than to men. Just conversing how their day was. Just talking how their day was. Whether it is long distance, whether in the same roof or you're far away, conversation must be a must. Let me tell men a few other instructions, general instructions for men to enjoy their marriage. Don't marry a girl before she becomes a woman. Don't marry children. You don't know what they'll become. We said they can surprise you by imagining something that you cannot tame. We also said, if you're a man and you're a leader and you're going far in life, get a woman who has capacity. Please. Not all women have the same capacity. Some women are very charming, but they don't have the capacity to operate on your level. They get insecure when you interact on a higher level with many women and all that. And she's always comparing with who you're talking to. I have met men who hurt themselves. They cut their own feet by. He's telling me, I was trying to build a big business. And, but now my woman here, when I interact with my partner, she's so insecure. I said, well, no. Where are you going? You are looking for a colleague in mission. You need a woman who is magnanimous. Obama would not have gone that far without a woman like Michelle.
Right.
She would have held him back. Ford invented vehicles because the wife believed in him. Napoleon Bonaparte conquered the world because the wife believed in him. I want to ask men to marry a woman of your own frequency.
Come on.
Women matter. And I want to ask men who are going far in life. Women who have cars, PhDs are better for you. Forget going to that dear's university because you think she looks innocent or not. The same way she's blank. You don't know what she'll become. She's still evolving. I want to get a woman who has capacity. Don't be intimidated by her money. She still has emotional need. In fact, women who have money have more equipment to help you.
Right.
Expand her. Take her for masters. Take her for PhD. Let her fly so she can lift you up. When she's more competent, she will help you better. She will raise the kids to a higher standard. You don't want a crazy woman who keeps making noise every time you talk to another girl and the house is full of tension and you're trying to build an empire. You had bigger visions. We said if a Mercedes Benz that can move at 200 kilometers per hour is tied together with a tuk-tuk that can move at 65 kilometers per hour, the combination can only move at 65 kilometers per hour because the slower party controls the speed.
Yeah.
Don't marry a slow woman if you're going high. He goes, don't team up with the chicken. I want to ask you, please get a she-ego. If you're an ego and you fly high, get a woman on that level. Just I tell you the truth. I know I don't have personal story, but I know why ego would pick you. He was looking for a woman who can think on that level. It's a level. I want to ask men to look for women who have capacity. While other men are saying, a woman who has money, they are declaring their inferiority.
Yeah.
As for you, keep quiet and no, look, I'm looking for. And I ask men don't fear because she's dating someone. Many good women are in situationships, things they contracted like measles in campus, and they're still struggling with it. It's not a relationship, it's a measles. She's managing it.
No.
I want to ask men, don't ask whether she's dating anyone. Present your case. Maybe you might be the exact clique. And you might be the impetus, the strength she needed to get out of that measles and now marry you. Most good women are not alone. They're in situations, they're in funny things with a man who's holding her back. Don't go, where are you? You did not call me. Just every time is so come around and embrace this girl and show her that she's exactly what you needed. As long as she's not married, she's in the market. Everybody can say,
Yeah.
As long as she's not married, she's in the market.
We're going to have to talk about this another day because there's rebound relationships, which we've always understood are not the best things to do. But anyway, I'm going to park that for another day. But very good points you've made here too, that you know what, rather than being threatened by a woman's success, being threatened by, what she's achieved, look at that as sort of evidence,
the suitability
of
take
her
you
capability.
Far. Benjamin Disraeli, one of the most legendary prime ministers of England, said, I'll make many mistakes in life, but I'll never marry out of infatuation, not of romance. I'll marry out of practicality.
Yeah.
That's why he married a woman who was 15 years older than him, because she could be a wife to prime minister and handle it.
Wow. Hey, okay. Benjamin, my time is up, unfortunately. Can you please let us know how we can find you?
Everywhere. Benjamin Zulu KE. That's my Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, Benjamin Zulu KE. And also email benjaminzuluke@gmail.
Yeah. As we wrap up here, let me just read this message here. I'm Makau watching from Dakaini, and I love today's topic. Until a husband loves his wife like Christ loves the church, the marriage will be shaky. As a husband, find out how Christ loved the church, what he did for the church, then translate that to your wife, and you'll start enjoying heaven while on earth. I like that. And that's sent by a gentleman. I think he's on the right track.
I like that.
Yeah, and
Keep it there,
we
bro.
want to hear more of such marriages. Absolutely, indeed. Benjamin, thank you for coming. And yeah, you've won the worth of that suit with what you've shared with us today. But thank you so much. All right, guys, we're going to take a break now as we get ready for our final segment. And coming up next, we're going to be talking about investing in your children's skills and talents. 111 444 111 is the SMS line, and I'll be back after this.